Hi, I'm Dr. Sam over here at Live Your Life Integrated Health and Chiropractic in Erie, and today we're going to continue our talk about neck pain and what we can be doing at home to alleviate and improve some of that neck pain. Now today, not only are we talking about neck pain, but we're basically going to be talking about everything that connects to the neck. So shoulders and upper back will be helped by these moves as well. So we're going to go over a few stretches and a few exercises today that you can add on to your repertoire to not only get rid of these pains, but also in the future to help prevent them from ever happening in the first place. So we're going to wander over to a wall today. We do not have a stair railing in this office. However, that is my favorite thing, or a bar, like a ballet bar, are my two favorite ways to do this stretch. So you are going to put your hands on the wall, or if you have it, stair railing, and you are just going to walk your feet out a little bit, push your butt out, chest down to the ground, and looking slightly up so we don't put pressure on the neck. And with that, we're going to get a very nice stretch through this whole side. And you should be feeling that a little bit on both sides. Some patients are going to feel it in the arms, some patients are going to feel it in this upper back here, and that's okay. It's kind of depending on where we are most tight. Now, if you have a stair railing, you're going to actually grab onto that stair railing or that bar, and you're going to be able to pull back. And that pulling back movement is what's really going to help stretch out that area. I like to do that with the pull moves with one arm at a time and really just let that whole body pull back and traction back. You get fantastic traction stretching throughout whichever shoulder you have up at the current moment. Now, not only can we just stay in this position just nice and flat, but we can rotate our body. So we're going to rotate that upper right, or we're going to rotate that right shoulder into the left big toe. And we're just pushing down through here into that big toe to get a little bit more of a stretch. And we can rotate the other way. So we're pushing that left shoulder into the right big toe to get more of a stretch in that area as well. And then of course we can come back to center here, and we're going to then arch up through our back. And when we arch up, kind of creating that elongation of the back here, you should feel a little bit more of a stretch in the back of your shoulder blades. And that's going to help stretch out the back of those shoulders as well, okay? So that is stretch one. Stretch two is going to be a rotator cuff muscle stretch. We are going to place our arm on the wall. We're going to I'll do it on this one. We're going to keep that shoulder down. We don't want the shoulder to come up like this. We want it to stay down. And very slowly, we're going to start pushing on that forearm downwards in order to get a nice stretch through this area. This is where most people are going to feel this stretch. Now, if you let your shoulder come all the way up, you're not going to get much of a stretch. That's why we need to keep that shoulder locked in place, back and down. Okay? Do it on the other side so you guys can see where I'm pushing on that forearm, keeping that shoulder back and down. My right side is much tighter than my left side, so I can only get to about here on this one. And same thing, we're going to be holding these stretches for at least 30 seconds, if not up to a minute, okay? Now the third stretch we're adding in today is going to be a teres minor stretch, and we're actually going to take our hand, place it behind our back, and if you can, we're going to grab the elbow and bring it forward to really stretch this whole area out. And most people will pretty quickly feel a nice stretch through there. If you cannot grab your elbow, you can take a towel, coming back, you can take a towel, something, wrap it around that elbow. Sorry, this is not a very long one. And that way you can start here and start pulling it forward with the towel, with the rope, with the stretching band, whatever you have at home to start getting that stretch in there. Okay, so those are our three stretches. Now let's talk about our two exercises. Two of my favorite exercises to improve neck pain and that upper back pain are going to be reverse flies and Ys. All right, so let's start with the reverse fly. I'm going to do it forward and then I'll do it to the side as well. So with that, we're going to have our feet about shoulder width apart, slight bend. We're going to have a nice flat back as we bend forward slightly, okay? And we're going to take our arms and we're just bringing them up and back and squeezing those shoulder blades together. I do not want to see you in this position, okay? If we're doing it like this, we're putting a ton of stress on that upper back, upper neck. If we have our chin nice and raised, that's going to take that stress away from there. So to the side, same thing. Feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees, flat back, and we're taking those arms and we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Now I see a lot of people that just do arms. We don't want to just do arms. We want to take those shoulder blades and make sure that we're feeling those shoulder blades come together. Okay, and we're going to do that one about 10 times, at least 2 to 3 times a day. Now you can add weight to that. Typically I caution patients, especially if they have acute pain, to start off just against gravity, just to get that motion. And after about 5 days to a week, we can start adding on a little bit of weight, okay? So those are reverse flies. The second one are our Ys. We're gonna take our thumbs, they're gonna be pointed up. We're gonna be in almost the exact same position. Feet shoulder width apart, slightly bent here, okay? Head nice and up. And we're gonna take our arms and we're just gonna bring them up in a Y shape, all right? Thumbs pointing up, because then we're gonna get the proper musculature, activate that proper musculature back there. Gonna do it to the side here as well, all right? Good, and eventually, when you start getting tired, you should feel that kind of throughout this back here. Those are the muscles that they are activating, is it's increasing strength in that mid back, so that way it takes the tension off the neck, brings things from being forward, starts bringing them backwards again. That one I don't typically recommend too much weight for either. Again, most people, I'm going to start off with just against gravity, doing 10 sets about 3 times a day. Okay, so we had our 3 different stretches. We had our wall stretch or our bar stretch. We had our rotator cuff muscle stretch. We had our teres minor, another rotator cuff muscle stretch. And then we had our 2 exercises. We've got our reverse fly and we've got our Ys. All right, so these are all things we can start adding on to not only help decrease the current neck pain that we're having, current upper back pain that we're having, but again, to also prevent it in the future. All right, take care, Erie.